Alan doesn't like it because it's a superior show. I'm talking
What are you
about
talking about? I love
Tea Time.
Animaniacs. I just don't like y'all singing.
I was talking about Tea Time Go.
I mean, honestly, I kind of agree with that.
Literally no one
Wait,
likes
that
it.
song's not
Yeah.
Teen Go.
I know, do the parody.
What?
It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It was funny the fact that you were singing the wrong song. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Double Toasted, not pre-show, because it's not pre-show. It's a chat tech. We are mentally ill in this motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Single digit IQs. What it do?
I'm actually not that happy.
Motherfucker, I'm ill.
Aw, snippity snap. What's up, everybody? We took a long time to get started. That's my bad. There was lots of shit I had to do last minute, as well as the Streamlabs stuff. Hopefully it works this time. Let's do a little testaroo. I think it's working. I think it's working. Yes, it is. Oh, look at
My
that.
God, it's working.
Oh, Jesus. Lord have mercy on my soul. But anyways, I don't know why I say it like that. My soul. The whole gang's here. I'm actually really happy that everyone's here. We started together, all that shit. I hear some noise in the background. I don't know what the fuck that is. Let me see. Oh, Aaron, thank you very much for liking the stream, dude. But anyways, we'll begin to the after hours. No, we'll get into the after hours in about like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, so it won't be a long show. But I'm going to go around and see how everyone's doing. First of all, Ganja Guru, I'm going to start off with you, sir. How's it going? And why don't you tell people what you got, by the way, because there's a victory.
don't wanna.
There's a victory to be had here by me, Jed, Alan, and Roxy. You shut your whore mouth, but then open it.
I don't wanna.
You open that whore mouth and you tell people what you got, you little fucking bastard.
You can probably hear it in the background, but I got me a Switch.
He got himself a fucking Switch, guys.
Not only did I get a Switch, but they got me because I can't find no goddamn Switch lights. I had to buy the full fucking version.
Oh, you bought the full thing? Oh.
Full fucking thing.
Hey, you can hook up to your TV. I got a Switch light, so.
Yeah, the full thing's great. I mean, you can hook this up to game capture devices. You can do a lot of shit with this thing. And it goes to the TV, which you'll learn how to do that in a little while. That's awesome, but
my girl's gonna teach me how to do that.
It's not too difficult to get into the TV. You just fucking have to hook the HDMI port into the freaking dongle, and that's about it.
Alan, stop it. You're not the girlfriend here.
He tries.
nah.
I'm kidding.
No, I don't.
But thank you for the help, though.
Fuck you.
Like,
I don't accept your thanks.
The full Switch is better to have, mostly because like the dock itself.
It depends on your use, because for me, I'm not going to really use the dock at all. How I didn't. I just use it for when I'm going to and from work. So it's actually a lot more.
Just everywhere in your bag, just clunking.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Don't
case
even have
for
no
it. What are you talking
goddamn.
about? No, I got
Still
a
just
case
going
for it.
clunk. You just throw that.
Yeah,
shit,
clunking
you just throw
in this
your
thing.
Switch. Yeah, it's still clunking in that thing. Also,
It's
just
literally
throw
strapped
whatever
down.
the fuck you want in your room. Just I don't want my
Literally
Switch to look
strapped
like that.
down,
I'm
like-
just gonna throw it in my fucking backpack and shit.
It's literally like strapped down inside.
I don't know.
But yeah, keep making shit up. You're pretty good at it.
I mean, you should never like not do things that you're not good at. But we're being hosted, by the way, too. That's what that guy's dancing with it for. But you guys know it was me. Ain't no one gonna go on Double Toast and be like, "Oh, let me help out the chat attack." No, it's not gonna happen. Not the way it works.
They
around
might
here.
one day, Diaz.
No, they won't. Corey would have already done it. I'm so sorry for saying it, by the way. I gotta be nice.
Oh.
You know, he is my boss still. I forgot, since we're doing the chat tag, but still technically a pre-show thingy, because then he'll watch and I'll get in trouble for the things I say. I don't want to do that. I'm a
Or
pussy.
snitches. Fucking snitch bitches inside this possible chat room.
Exactly.
If you're not a snitch bitch, I love you. But if you are, when are you gonna go on to another show?
Exactly. Wait, what?
No, keep watching.
I mean, I don't want someone that's constantly snitching out because then it just ruins our product. Because sometimes we like to do special shit for you guys, and if you constantly snitching out, we can't do that shit.
Exactly. I want to do a whole show where I just talk shit about people. I was gonna call it talk shit about people show. It was really
I'm
clever.
gonna call it Dropping Turds with Nick Diaz and Ganja Guru.
That's actually
Alrighty then. Then that is the entire show, folks. See you next time.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is I can't do that because you guys will be like, "Hey, find a way," and then you guys will tell, El Leon, you guys know who the fuck that guy is. They're gonna be telling Corey, "Hey, won't leave me alone. I gotta block him on the Facebook, bubby." So that whole fucking thing happens, and then it's a whole problem. Ryan saying, "Fuck all of you, star Nick Diaz and friends." Yes.
Way better name.
By the way, I just like the idea.
Actually, a really good name.
That is a good name, but by the way, just to put this out here, not to give anything to Alan, because fuck him still for certain reasons, but the thing is, though, is Alan says fuck you guys way more than I do. Alan should have to talk shit about people's show. I'm pretty
Do
nice.
that anyway.
I've changed. Chat, I'm
You
sorry.
haven't done a goddamn thing except get a little bit nicer.
That's the whole thing. That's pretty big.
Motherfucker, you make it sound like you really the Grinch and shit and saved Christmas and grew like a heart 10 times the size.
Probably would you not save Christmas. You probably thought the Grinch was right.
Gene says Alan got the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
He does.
I Oh my
We're gonna
god.
be talking about that shit today. Not about that video, but we're gonna talk about Spider-Man.
Video
Miles
game.
Morales. There we go. Yes. Good thanks, sir. You
God,
helped
they
me
cut
out.
me off. It would have been hilarious.
I know, but Marissa saying, Nick, you're less of an asshole than you were last year, if that counts for anything. See, yeah, and by the way, last year I was less of an asshole than the year before that, and et cetera, et cetera. But speaking of assholes,
Yeah, but no, not really, because it gets to the point where it's like it just goes all the way back up.
that doesn't happen. But the thing is, though, speaking of assholes, this is
Watch
definitely
the
not gonna
year
hurt
one
my...
MCA shit and tell me if I'm wrong.
Still, I'm not a bad guy. But the thing is, though, I was gonna say, speaking of assholes, and I was gonna say Roxy, but since you want to talk so much, you're the asshole too, sir. How are you doing, Alan?
You know how it is.
Fuck you, Roxy. How you doing?
I'm
Get
good.
tired of that.
Good.
Yeah, I
Doc,
went to build a bear, and I built a bear,
Yo,
and I
yo,
got
I
some
got
stuff
me
from
a-
Amazon.
We got some bomb ass fucking Build-A-Bear. She got what is it? The one from How to Train Your Dragon?
The fuck, I don't remember its name. The white one.
I remember the
I don't
main
remember
one's
Pikachu
called
be part of
Toothless.
that.
Yo, that's legit. Chunky Pikachu is my fucking favorite one. All right, so I literally walked to the Build-A-Bear lady, and I was like, she was like, "How do you want it? Soft, cuddly, love up on it?" I was like, "Nah, make that motherfucker chunky." And she was like, "I got you." And she worked at it to make that bitch as chunky as possible. I loved it.
Damn. Yeah.
Once one of those scenes break, that thing's just gonna fucking explode.
But I wanted to say too.
I'm sorry, I just pictured that in my head.
There's a little bit of a string going, and then boom.
Me and Roxy just laying there, just like one morning, just roll over, and the Pikachu goes. I look at him, he just goes boom.
Well,
And yours actually makes noise. Mine just
Yeah.
has a heartbeat.
really, damn, did you get a kid? Like just walking home.
I told.
I really hope not.
I told Roxy, like, man, I should have got. I should have them do Danny DeVito's voice
Oh, dude, that'd be fucking weird shit.
because they have ability that you can record your own thing, and they even said you can do whatever you want off of YouTube. I wanted to get Danny DeVito for like a
I'm the
split
trash.
second.
Here's the entire audio of The
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
No.
Yeah. Really quick though. So before, because I was gonna ask, hey Roxy, how you doing? Which is always the same old, like, thanks. But I want to ask you really quick. When you were at the Build-A-Bear place, were you also wearing that thing that you were wearing earlier that made fun of you before?
Yes.
Okay, so I normally don't do this. Are you cool with turning your webcam on? Can you put your webcam on and show people what you're wearing?
No.
It's kind of funny. It's not
No,
funny.
it's not funny.
I'm sorry. It's pretty funny.
It's not.
Fucking anyone who wears beanies nowadays, guys, I think that they listen to Take It Back Sunday and fucking just emo music and just sitting around like, what's up, man? And yeah, it just made
I
me
must
fucking.
not listen to emo music because I don't know who the fuck you just said.
What, Take It Back Sunday? Never heard Take It Back
Nick's
Sunday?
favorite band.
Ooh,
That's how we
bitch,
know.
more like I work on Sunday. The fuck?
Shit. I don't know.
No, that's for real. I actually do work tomorrow. So
On Sunday,
No.
making them
on
work on
Sunday.
the Lord's Day. Fucking it. How Christian is that?
Give me a second.
Actually, technically,
Let me get the
Sabbath
sugar
is a
cookie crumbs
Saturday.
off of me.
This is Taking Back Sunday, by the way. This is
What the fuck are these guys?
They are apparently the guys that used to be cool back in the day. I remember lots of girls I used to go out with, like, I want to fuck David something.
Leave off.
Yeah, what
You know the name. Don't lie to us.
I really don't. I don't even know if David's a person's name in here. But, like, I just know that,
Probably.
like, lots of girls that I liked these guys. And I'd be like, man, I want to be like them one day. It's been 20 years, guys. I am glad I'm not like any of these fucking guys.
Exactly like that main dude. Same hair and everything.
No, not even close. What are you talking about? All dudes with long hair don't look the same, stupid.
Yeah, they do. You
And
and
by the
God
way,
look
your
the
hair
same.
looks like my hair. Are we the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think we're the same. Fuck you. But by the way, you taking so many pictures too, and like making faces like, ooh, you wanna fuck me, and like you kind of look like some of these guys. I'm just saying.
That is the most random stretch you've ever done, and I've been your friend for 4 years.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like that guy. Well, no, that guy's too manly. Anyway, wow, this is becoming way insulting. I
Wow.
didn't mean to do that. So, anyways,
Why am I on the show again?
I'm just so I can
Oh,
insult.
so we can make fun of you and like have like someone to just beat up for the rest of the kind of hour.
I hate
Solidus.
all of you.
Solidus
It's
wore a
truly a
fucking beanie.
role that's made for a hero like yourself.
Fuck you.
Solidus.
All right.
I'm sorry, dude. I would be making so much fun of you if I saw you with the fucking beanie on. I'm sorry, dude. But like, if you guys, anybody who wears a beanie, don't let me see it. I will make fun of your ass. Marissa saying, and a decade under the influence, error operator, cute without the E.
I was gonna show off my little Build-A-Bear too.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, show it the.
Hold
show
on.
it the
Yeah, but now she's not. She's gonna make sure that she's not in the shot.
No, give me a second to open it. Cause it's bitch hard.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Do 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 do.
R.I.P.
Rest
by the way.
in peace, Alex.
Just say R.I.P. by the way.
He's dead. He's super duper dead.
I wonder who they're gonna get to replace him on the show.
I don't know, but man, I always hate that particular question because like that was the thing that happens all the time. Like even Black Panther. You know they're making a Black Panther 2 already.
Oh yeah, they've been. They just literally started filming, so it's been like about a month and a half since he's passed. So
yeah, they're expecting, I guess, that Shuri's gonna be the new Black Panther.
that's what people are. Yeah, that's what people are basically talking about, and it's like that makes sense. It's just you have to kind of acknowledge like this is a situation like Carrie Fisher where it died halfway through production. You don't have any real footage, so you can sit there and pass the mantle. I don't know what they're gonna fucking do.
What's up, bro? What's up, dog? Oh wait, I'm
Look,
not even showing
guys,
it.
he's gonna explain to us why Marvel isn't cinema.
Okay, so let's see the hat, the beanie. See, guys, this is not little.
There's on there.
She's gonna lean back.
Yeah, we got a badass drink too. Fucking respect the dragon fruit.
Complete with the fucking Starbucks.
Shut up!
Well, let's see
And
this
so
thing.
here's my love builder bear. I gave her a little skirt.
Yeah, it's not bad.
She thick.
Oh god.
We love her.
Don't do that to the fuck. There's probably furries watching. No, God. But no, I'm surprised that they even have that available there. Like the whole how to train your because that's from How to Train Your Dragon, right? Yeah, I didn't know it was that popular. Like I think it was
I
popular
didn't
too.
either.
Yeah,
It's pretty. It's middle. Like people that like it love it, but it did get like mainstream like a lot of other Pixar movies.
Yeah. Ryan, How to Train Your
Pixar.
Thickness.
I know it's not a Pixar movie. It's a Universal or Paramount. It's one of the other companies,
DreamWorks.
but it didn't get the widespread as Pixar usually does.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, it actually got really big, especially the second movie, which actually did much better than the first. Third one, not so well, but the second one actually pushed it to being very, very mainstream.
I really gotta watch those movies because I hear everyone that likes it loves them, but I just never got around to watching them.
I tried to once, and I just my attention can't handle all that fucking like, oh god, I'm gonna ride the dragon. Hey,
Oh no, people are being happy. Shit, I can't watch this.
Well,
Let me go back to Walking Dead where everyone's miserable.
Dude, it's a fucking dragon. Can I get a little bit like, whoa, that's a dragon?
Yeah,
That's just
let me
like,
go back to Walking Dead where everything's miserable and everyone hates
No,
living.
why you gotta
That's
take
my
another
kind of
extreme?
show.
You take another extreme. I'm saying that there's a big dragon there. Act like it's a fucking dragon, and not sit there like, oh, I just want to hang out with the dragon. It's not gonna hurt me at all. It just blows fucking fire out its mouth. Jeez, god damn it, Alan. I
Fuck
hate
you. No one likes it.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah. I'm just saying, I don't
When
think
you
it's
do
defend-
finally fuck, it's gonna be so wet and sloppy and rough.
No, it won't.
That's
Have you
wet.
met Alan? No, this is gonna be dry the whole time. Anyways, you know what the thing is,
Canadian dry dog.
though? Yeah, that sucked. That was very, very bad. Alan, you should slap him.
I'm stopping you.
Why you still fuck with me? He's making fun of you, calling you dry.
You
pussy.
literally just finished making fun of me, so fuck you.
Well, fuck with him.
No.
I think you like him. I think that you.
Yeah, he's my friend.
Yeah. Oh, am I not your friend? You know, let's have a
No.
huge, serious conversation here.
Well, you
okay?
know what? Let's ask
Firstly-
the chat. Am I Nick's friend?
Oh, well, they're gonna say no. Come on.
Exactly.
Hey, chat, who's more? Fuck, I'm not gonna do that.
There we go.
The thing is, here's the thing. The name of the show, the title tonight is Spider-Man Miles Morales review. So everyone's gonna be against me because they think I'm gonna say a bunch of negative shit about Spider-Man. So you're picking. You know what you're doing. You're picking the right night to fucking choose the chat.
You
to be on your
literally
side.
ask the chat every other hour. The one time I do something, like, oh man, you're playing them against me.
I'm just
You're
saying,
turning them
you're
against me. Man,
politicizing.
fuck you.
You're politicizing.
You
I know
goddamn
what you're
fragile
doing.
ass ego.
You're politicizing. I see what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Fragile
you picked this particular
ass
time.
ego.
Mhm.
You have the ego of a pane of glass.
But I don't think they have feelings. Anyways, so here's the thing, though, guys. The ego of a planet gas.
Can we go on to the show?
Yeah, please, sure. Fucking genius. The thing is, man, I want to actually talk about a couple of things. But firstly, I think the big thing that I really, really want to talk about is our boy, Gene Jeter. Hopefully, Gene, you're actually in the chat right now. Because before we get into the reviews, news, and all that other shit, before I irritate you guys, basically, Gene, I didn't know this, because on top of him being like a really good photographer, pretty much cool all around dude, I actually just really got to know him basically like a year ago, and just everything going on nowadays with the chat tech and the pre-show and everything. But he's also a writer, and I had no idea about this. Roxy, did you know?
I did not.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, so it's kind of surprising that we're even going to be talking about this right now, but he wrote a book called The Craigslist Model. It just really came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and then digitally recently as well. But the first thing I want to say about this is the people in this call, by the way, because you're going to notice there's going to be 2 people even talking here. It's just me and Roxy. We're the only ones who have read this so far. I think Ganja got a copy, but Ganja can't read, so.
Bitch!
What? What happened?
You have literally forgot Jet twice this show when we just started.
What did I do?
You forgot. You didn't ask Jet how she was.
I'm
and now
leaving.
this.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Goodbye.
Well, Alan, you didn't let anyone talk.
How's this my fault?
Well, I don't know. I think it is. I don't know. And Jen really left, by the way, guys. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. This show is
Yeah,
a fucking...
I can't read, and Miss Roxy is the one who read it for me, and I really appreciate her helping me try to get smart.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jen, hopefully you come back soon. Anyways, so the thing is, though, me and Roxy are the ones who have actually read this in the call, and I just want to say that before we even get into it, I want to show my non-catastrophe, because there is something I really didn't like about this right away off the bat. I'll start off negative like I do everything. I was thrown off by the beginning of the book where there are a few pages that welcome you to the experience of the Craigslist model. And the thing is, there's a few pages, and I've never seen this done before, and I don't read a whole lot, guys, but there are some times in this book in the first few pages where there's just one sentence on a page saying, like, this is a conversation. This is an experience. This is a vibe. And I gotta tell you, dude, if it wasn't for the rest of this book being what it was, I'd call bullshit. I'd be really fucking mad with that beginning. I really would have. But I did read more of the book, and I gotta tell you, dude, like, whether or not your person is actually gonna really, really enjoy this or not, I actually think that this was an experience. This actually is legitimately different, and I have not read anything else that's like this book, even the way it's written down or paced, like, literally on the page. But can you agree with that at all, Roxy?
Yes. Also, the beginning where he was like, this is an experience. This is Coca-Cola. Like, it brought me back to, like, being in the movie theater, and then they're like, hey, you want some popcorn? Big boy? You want some cold hard cock? Right before the movie starts?
Hole in the
get
fucking...
ready.
And the
Experience.
yeah, look in the bathroom, you get like a hole in the fucking thing, like for fun times right here with the arrows and shit and the happy face.
That's what it brought me to when I first opened the book, honestly.
Yeah, man. But to give him respect in that sense too, it's not just like a thing where he's trying to like, you know, poetically drive you right into the story of the book or the atmosphere of the book. Like, it's legitimately different. And what I mean by that too is like the story that he legitimately wrote. It's not like a book. What's a word for it? Like your typical book template. It's actually ran almost like a movie. And I know people might not understand because I don't know if people read scripts or read things like that. But the way this was done for me, as a person who doesn't read, I'm a huge casual. This was so digestible for me because reading it the way it's written down and the way it's like sectioned off from each page, I felt like anytime I was reading, it was easy to move to turn to the next page. Because you get done with the pages really, really fast to the point where you don't realize you've read so much. And I think that's actually a super, super cool fucking thing. But how'd you feel about that? Was it digestible for you?
Well, for me, it was completely different seeing it like written as a screenplay, like how you mentioned. I haven't seen that before, so I was expecting like a tale being like woven in, like here's the backdrop, here's this, here's that, and then right after the whole like ice cold cock experience, you get right into the book, and it was like how you mentioned, it was really easily digestible for someone. So if you are intimidated by reading books, or you're one of the people who get like really tired or fatigued after a while because you start like messing up the lines now and again. He made it very easy and very accessible for people to be able to read that, and it's written exactly like a screenplay. So it was different for me, and it actually made like the time like literally fly by when I was reading the book to the point where I'm like, damn, I read this that quickly?
Yeah.
I could do it again.
Yeah.
And even faster or slower if I wanted to. So that was something I really liked about the book, honestly.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about it too is just the fact that like I'm a person who doesn't want to read something for an entire week. I want to get through it quickly because when I'm into a story, I'm feeling it. And as soon as I take myself out of it, even if it's a movie or something, that's why I think this is something that me and Alan have discussed as well with like shows like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, whatever. Sometimes, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, because I get this wrong sometimes. Sometimes you like to wait till a show's completely done airing so you can binge it all at once.
It depends on the show. Anime for sure. I can't do 20 minutes a week. I have to just sit there and watch like 4 hours in one shot.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's something that I kind of like to do too. Unless I'm really, really into something, like I can wait. But like for the most part, I think that everything's so naturally. It's not cliffhangery, but the thing is, it does the exact same thing that would just keep you continuing on. It's very, very easy to kind of get this done within a day or two, which is really, really cool, especially for me that has a fucking ridiculous goddamn schedule. But yeah, man, like one thing I will say about this though is like, you know, the characters in my opinion come alive, and that's a good thing. But it's unapologetic as fuck. Like if you're a sensitive person that doesn't like how human beings conversate with each other, this may not be for you, just because of the fact that there's an authenticity to the way people talk, and there's no like finding salsa words to get around like people saying really fucked up shit. Like these characters are these characters. They're authentic to their characters. And that's not only something that's really cool for the format that feels very authentic to itself, but these characters, like, this is how people talk, man. And for me, being as old as I am, and I remember being around, you know, like the days where people weren't, you know, concerned with saying the F word or whatever the fuck, like, this book says some shit. And I think that's actually a pretty cool thing. But did that piss you off at all, Roxy, when you got to parts where people were saying stuff that's like, hey, what the fuck was that? Like...
It took me by surprise, honestly, because again, like how you mentioned, of course, with today's like political climate and everything, people are more kind, people are more courteous, people tend to hold back a little bit more. So to see like some of the stuff that I did on the book, like right front and center, I appreciate the like brash honesty. Like this book pulls no punches. Like it's literally like all right there, laid out flat. And for some people who might take a little bit offense to it or tend to hold back a little bit, definitely take your time and just pace through it, understand it, and then you should be fine.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I don't want to like spoil lots of like storyline stuff, because a book, I mean, that's what a book is a story. So like, I'm not going to talk about the characters. I'm not going to talk about certain things that made me go like, oh shit. But I will just say that as far as those things go right there, I think that for me, a person who's a casual, I would definitely want to read something like that. I don't like long, ridiculous fucking stories that span to another book and another book and another book. This is literally something he really went through in real life. And it comes across that way. It's literally like someone's telling you a story. Instead of you having to sit there and listen to it all in your fucking ears, you get to read it at your pacing. I won't rate it anything, because for one, if I give it a higher rating, it's going to sound like I'm kissing his ass. And I would never give a negative rating to anything that I actually fucking enjoy, just to kind of look, you know, I guess honest. So, yeah, man. As far as that stuff goes, though, I will recommend it, though. I don't like to recommend shit to people unless I really feel that way. But seriously, it's an easy fucking read. And if you got the cash to kind of throw towards someone who actually has done a lot for this community as well, I think I should do it. But Roxy, how about you? Would you recommend this?
Honestly, I would. It's not only for people who are more like hardcore, like bookworms or book nerds or whatever you want to call them. I'm kind of one of them, but it's been a minute since I've read a book. So thank you, Jean, for providing me with my first book that I've read in a long time. But it's super approachable, like easy to digest. And then once you start getting into the book and getting into the stories and like kind of getting sucked into everything, again, I'm trying really, really hard not to spoil anything. But once you get kind of sucked in, you find yourself like turning every page constantly. And then before you know it, you've reached the end.
Yeah, and I know
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, because I was going to say, too, before we continue on as well, I since Jet's back, and I'm sorry I made you mad earlier, because I can't fucking tell anymore, because goddamn. The thing is, though, is I know I
Maybe get better at communication.
Well, yeah, probably. The thing is, though, is that you were actually here. You know, remember that day I lost my phone? That was awesome, right? But you were here when I actually had the book for the first time, and I don't know if you read all of it. I know you read some of it, at least. But is there anything you want to say about this at all?
I mean, considering I didn't read the book, I mean, I guess I didn't read it because it's like, seeing as like you said that I didn't.
All right, fuck you. No, no, I don't know what the hell do I say.
Damn, really?
I don't know what's going on.
I read the book twice at this point. You're just like, oh.
You know what? I'll
You
fix
didn't
this. Hey,
read it.
Jet, what do you think about Jean's book?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Alan. It's actually quite different from any other book that I read. It's nice and short, and it actually feels like it's like a messaging format, like you're on like Google Hangouts, just like two people just messaging back and forth, and you're just like that person that's on there just kind of eavesdropping on what's going on, or you're part of it, and you're pretending like you don't see what's going on in the chat, but you definitely do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sort of like that, and it's like interesting because like the biggest question is, okay, why does this person not like this model so much? Because the whole book is basically about just, who was like the worst model you ever worked with, and it's him and this other person like talking back and forth about reminiscing about this one person who they are just like, you know what, fuck this person.
Sometimes like a roast
and
session.
You get to read exactly why.
I like how sometimes it's a roast session to the point where it's like, damn, like You really fucking hate this person. But I think it's pretty cool. But what do you feel about the pacing and all that stuff too, or just like the way it's formatted?
I mean, like I said, it's a quick book to read. Like, it's not a long one, so you can easily finish in like an hour. And I appreciate that because usually I'm off doing like a whole bunch of different stuff. I don't really have time to just sit around and read. Even with audiobooks too, I can't really pay attention.
Yeah, I get you. But would you recommend this at all?
Oh yeah, it's like I said, it's short. You can get through it pretty fast, and I mean, if you want to help out a Toasty, definitely check it out.
Yeah, legit. Because there's so many things going on too. People helping out Toasties, and I feel like some people might take advantage of that, saying like, "Oh, like I don't want to say too much because it's gonna be obvious who I'm fucking talking about." But it's just like there's Toasties that you could support. That's probably not the best idea. This one is a good idea. Not just because of the book, but for other reasons too. This is actually a legitimately good fucking person.
And also, yeah, I don't read. No one in this call fucking reads.
Yeah.
Reading's
Wait,
over
I
with.
read?
When?
Fuck, when I used to read? What the
Reading
fuck?
the back of shampoo bottles when you leave your phone to charge don't count as reading.
Dude, for one, that's a weird thing to read while I'm waiting for my fucking phone to charge. I gotta tell you.
When you're taking a shit, like, you ever do that? When, like, say you leave your phone charging somewhere and then you're taking a shit and then you're like, okay, well, what can I do to pass the time? And you
Okay.
start reading shampoo bottles.
Okay, all I had to do was say shit. I'm like, oh, now I get you. Yeah, absolutely, I did that. Gene's saying, it should be known that Roxy inspired one of the characters. The only reason why I didn't want to say that is because the person in the book is way fucking worse than Roxy. If Roxy inspired that character, Roxy, I'm sorry, but you're a fucking asshole.
I mean, like, okay, hear me out. I'm nice. But
Sure.
if you, like, I'm not going to like someone for no reason. If I dislike you, there's a reason. That's it.
Yeah. I don't ask why she doesn't like me, guys. I don't want to hear that long fucking thing. It'll be the same thing like with Alan. Oh, well, you know, once upon a time, and then fucking.
I
Just
like
go
everyone
literally
in
the
this
first
call.
episode I ever showed up on anything.
I would think I was nice with you that day. It was everybody else. You're talking about Black Panther and Civil War, and everyone were like, get him! Yeah, pitchfork.
And then
that
you
was
told
bad
me to
there.
get back into the kitchen with my fat
And that
ass.
never happened.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I can't believe you did that shit. Anyway, so I'm almost like a little bit nervous to bring this next thing up, man. Seriously, because last time I did this, Corey went off on me on the show, and then people call me a racist, like this character named Tony Beers on Refugees of Spill. Like, it was a whole fucking thing. And
I know what cares what they think.
well, I mean, I still, it's not fun getting insulted for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, yeah. So now you know how it feels.
Fuck you. Anyways, guys. So I'm trying to get my trailer over here too, so you guys can see it while you're not just looking at my fucking face the whole time, or my character's face. But now I got it here. There's this little game that just came out recently called Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now the thing is I didn't know whether or not to go into a big thing explaining my thoughts about the last Spider-Man game that I was referring to earlier. I think that Marvel Spider-Man on PS4, and yes, I am gonna go into it because fuck it, I'm gonna use this time to once again punch every fan in the face verbally over that fucking game. I think that's very, very bad. It came out 2 years ago. To put it simply, I didn't enjoy the fact that it took way too long to get into Spider-Man isms after like the first big super duper fucking what we call that, like it's like the wrestling will call it a high spot, but it's like a Alan, you know
I'm not
movies.
helping you.
Help me. What's the
I'm not
fucking
helping
word?
you.
What's the terminology? God damn it.
You're gonna drown on this one yourself.
Oh, here's the thing, though. It's just one of those fucking set pieces. There we go. That's the word. The big fucking set piece that every game that comes out nowadays has to fucking have. It's a ridiculous set piece in the Marvel Spider-Man game. And on top of that, I think the game was way too easy and repetitive. Just hitting square 1,000 fucking times until Spider-Man just does all the random Spider-Man shit that can literally just watch someone do on fucking YouTube for free. And then you put it on the hardest difficulty, and not only does it get too fucking hard, but then the missions that interrupt your gameplay, the stealth missions and fucking doing all this boring shit, it's way harder, and I can't get through it. Like, dude, that game needed some fucking work, but everybody loved it, including this man. Actually, Alan, why don't you tell people positively what you feel about the last Spider-Man game before you get into this one?
I'm enjoying watching you drown. I'll talk when it's necessary.
Okay, well, fuck you. God damn.
I'm not helping you out because people know my fucking opinions on this and know how I fucking feel about the original Spider-Man. That it is a really fucking good game. It definitely fucking changed up the fucking stale formula that was the Arkham games and actually gave us something a little bit more detailed, a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more like actual thought put into every aspect of the game versus, and let's just keep releasing Arkham games so no one cares.
Then again, I completely disagree with that idea too. That people like everyone knows the Batman games are the shit, especially the Arkham games. So.
Yeah, but when Arkham Knight comes out, everyone's like, "Yo, like we kind of get it, dude. Change up the formula a little bit." That's why they did all this shit for Gotham Knights.
Well, either way, as much as those problems still exist, like over here, as you guys can see, you know, we're doing the same set piece crazy shit for the first 15 minutes of the game. I gotta tell you though, this is not the same experience that I remember with the first the Marvel Spider-Man game from 2018. This one, Miles Morales, I think does a really, really good job, mostly in story. The game itself, other than, like, okay, here's the thing. They still do the stealth shit. Like, maybe, I mean, they only do it, like, once or twice in this game. And the cool thing about it, too, is, like, when you do it in this game, I feel like it makes a ton default. It makes a ton of choices that are at the fault of the story that actually make more sense. Like, in the last game, you'll be MJ, and it's like, hey, you gotta do this thing that Peter can't do, and you have to, like, you know, hide behind these soldiers, blah, blah. It didn't make sense. It's like, I'm here to play as Spider-Man. Here, when you're Miles Morales and you do those stealth missions, it actually makes sense. Oh, thank you, Tresor. I can't read that shit. I'm fucking stupid. But the thing is, though, is like in here when you do stealth missions, it actually works for the story, and you're still doing Spider-Man shit while still being stealthy. It's such a cool concept. It's such a cool idea. And I remember, Alan, I brought this up to you recently, and you told me that was the case. You were like, dude, like it's not the same type of stealth missions. These are actually purposeful. But yeah, do you want to like continue on with that, by the way, and just explain to people probably better than I can about like just how the stealth missions are actually different this time around?
Yeah, sure. At this point, I almost want to just start talking about my overall thoughts of the game. But as far as the stealth missions, I think a lot of the differences in this is that Arkham and Spider-Man, for the most part, had the same problem when it came to stealth missions. It's not that the stealth missions were particularly difficult, it's that they were repetitive. They were the exact same mission every single time, to the extent where when I was Mary Jane and I was playing the game for the third time, I knew the enemy patrols well enough that I never crouched behind anything. I would just run around, and I would basically be able to outdo all the maneuvers, so I got through those missions in 2 minutes because I've done it before. Where this one, we're like, we're going to change it up a little bit by it's giving you more of a choice. So you can actually go through the whole thing stealthy, or you can just say fuck it and fight every single motherfucker. Or you could basically have the camouflage ability that makes it a lot easier to stealth. So it is become more up to you. Now, they make it difficult by having snipers that will shoot the hell out of you. But if you're pretty good at the gameplay, that's really not that much of a problem, because the gameplay is so good in both these games that you have so much maneuverability that you never got in the Arkham games. So Arkham has the fucking stupid Predator missions that after a city, I fucking hated them. I almost refused to do them. With this one, when there's a stealth mission, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go in. Or I'll just say fuck it and actually do the stealth thing, which I sometimes fail. Then fuck it, I'll beat everyone up.
Yeah, and about that too, especially the beating up stuff, because for me, I think that the action stuff, once again, the gameplay, I think was just more of the same shit from the 2018 game, so we won't get into that too much. But one thing I really enjoyed was just the pace of the game in general. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about like how, you know, you go back and forth between gameplay and these cutscenes, and what'd you think of the cutscenes in general as well? All right, thank you, Alan.
Sorry, I forgot to mute my mic. I apologize. I thought I forgot to mute my mic.
Okay.
But no, I was gonna say I'm gonna use this as, if that's up to you, I'm gonna use this as a jumping point just to kind of give it overall instead of bit pieces. I think that this one of the things that worried about me and why I kind of hesitated on getting this game is I love the PS4 Spider-Man. I legitimately think it's one of the best Spider-Man games ever made. And it's definitely one of the best PS4 exclusives. It has the best interpretation of Spider-Man, the best combat the game has ever had. The swinging is definitely up there. There's a lot of good stuff with it. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't like. And it's mostly, it was how the story was told. It's basically a linear story set in an open world game that just kind of drags you along from point to point as you go from cutscene to cutscene. Miles Morales changes it up a little bit where it gives you more of a break. It gives you more of a breathing room. So you actually do have a chance to do side quests in the game, other activities, even in the crime app. They give you an app to just focus everything on there instead of just cluttering the fucking map. So it made it a lot more fun. But my thing was like, well, it's Spider-Man gameplay. How are you going to differentiate it as opposed to making it just like the PS4? They do a lot with the combat, where the combat, you can see the different animations, the different finishers. He's a little bit faster in some cases. He's not as strong in some cases. So you get to see that difference when you're fighting, where you could tell the difference between Spider-Man fighting and Miles fighting. Yeah. So I definitely like that. Yeah.
One thing I didn't like, though, I will say, is their excuses for shit. For instance, you know, I like the movesets and everything. I like the invisibility. I like the whole biotechnological, whatever the fuck thingy that he was doing, that yellow fire shit. That was
the
cool.
Venom Punch, yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But the thing is, though, I just feel like they didn't really explain too much as far as that goes. Like, they just say, like, big techno babble, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's what that is. They give it a name. It's like, I don't know. And the biggest thing is that this entire story in general is Peter Parker wants to go on vacation. And it's like, so when you hear on the news, probably all over the world, that Harlem is about to fucking explode and all this crazy shit's going on in what, like, I think of like weeks of this shit's going on. Peter Parker's busy fucking MJ in the ass and didn't want to like look up online. I should probably get back.
Well, he actually does. After the bridge explosion, he literally calls up Miles saying, "I'll be right there tomorrow." And Miles is like, "No, I got this." Because like to a certain degree, it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of crazy stuff kind of going on. But Spider-Man, this story is basically trying to have Spider-Man move on from not just being the only person that could do anything, and they fix a lot of the problems that Batman and Goku has, where it's like the main guys are the only ones that can ever solve any problem that nobody else can ever solve anything. So you're just going to keep getting the same recycled stories. With this one, it's like, and what I liked about like the story is they're trying to make Miles and give him his own world, give him his own city. Hell, they might even give him his own spin-off game at one point. And I think that they definitely give that, they give it a lot of room to breathe, and you actually get to feel like Miles has a place in this world. He's not just Spider-Man Jr. or what the Tom Holland is going in the MCU. He has his own quirks. He has his own personality. He has his own world. He has his own friends and enemies and people that he's working in this world, where Spider-Man, as soon as he leaves the vacation, except for a few voiceovers, never shows up again. And I was like, thank God for that. Because I didn't want a situation where Spider-Man has to come in and save his ass. And it's like, well, Miles can't do anything on his own. No, Miles, by the end of this game, is incredibly competent that it's like you could probably do another Miles game and not have to bring up Spider-Man. And it still fits. It still makes a lot of sense because he feels like he earns everything he does. You talk about the Venom power where it doesn't get explained. It gets explained a little bit. But about like maybe 6 hours into the game, they actually let him practice the ability. He gets to learn how to control it better. So he becomes better at it. And it's so earned that I feel like a lot of games don't do that properly.
You're definitely right, and like then again, I mean, this is one of those things where I could say that was a nitpick of me saying like, hey man, like, oh, you should explain the powers. Like no one explains fucking Superman shit. Once upon a time, magic and Krypton, blah blah blah, and we all accept it. And I don't know why I'm not accepting it here. I just feel like since it's such a grounded story, such a grounded place, and they explain shit that I don't really give a fuck about. They should have explained it somewhere here. At least that's what I want. But then again, I mean, if you guys don't agree with me, I'm not gonna fight on the hill for that shit. It's all good. But one thing I will say too, and I have to agree with you on, is I do appreciate that they actually. I mean, this is something that the Marvel series of movies should fucking learn from. There's no stupid Spidey tingle bullshit. It's actually fucking serious. And the coolest thing is this movie doesn't need Spider-Man like how Spider-Man needed Iron Man all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's actually something I really appreciated because I was like, oh, it's going to be a situation where he's always in the background, he's always going to help you fight, and Miles can't do anything on his own, except for that one moment. It's like, no, they're like, no, we want to give him his own room to breathe. I think the reason for Spider-Man going, hey, I'm going to go in Europe. Okay, I'm like, yeah, I wish they kind of came up with a better one where he's legitimately wants to take a bait or something. Like, I think getting rid of Spider-Man would have been better if they had a better reason, but he wants to do something else that's not in New York. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. But I do like that it's like, yeah, even when it comes to his suit, like Spider-Man gives him like this kind of basic, like really shitty suit. And then like, yeah, halfway through the game, he makes his own suit. He takes the technology that Peter gave him, but he adds his own quirks, and it's really fucking awesome.
Now, what do you think about his friend? Because I don't like that Spider-Man always has to have some kind of sidekick. But the sidekick
it's a superhero trope at this point.
It is, but I love Genki a lot in this game. I think he's really, really cool. And the fact that he's technically somewhat of a... I mean, they do this stupid thing of like, hey, he's into the internet, so he can just make a post go viral, and he knows...
I always hate that. That's such a trope. I feel like they got it from like from kids' TV and anime, where it's like, as soon as I make a tweet on Facebook, it gets 1 billion retweets. It's like, man, fuck off.
Yeah, that's not how that fucking works at all.
But they did kind of show that he's good with technology, and like he helps out, like he's helping out a fucking ad campaign, so he probably has some things going on. But it is that trope of like, oh, he's good with tech. That means he's the wizard and can do anything.
Yeah. But no, I feel like that was a pretty cool thing. Cedric saying, but you guys are missing a really important agent or aspect. Jesus Christ, I'm stupid.
Miles charges his phone. Oh yeah, the fucking charging shit, man. He should have blown up half of the bullshit in this game. But one thing to bring it up is the Venom power. Is like, I was like, how are they going to really institute that? Because it seems like it's kind of an overpowered ability. But what's one of the things I like what they changed about the gameplay, because this is something that it's not just a problem with PS4 Spider-Man. It's something that I hate in video games. And for everyone that's played a lot of video games, from shooters to whatever the fuck, there's the basic enemy types, the infantry. The first enemies you fight, they're pretty easy. It lets you kind of get used to the game. But the game realizes, well, we got to change it up to make it more fun and make the gameplay longer and not super easy. So they give you the increased infantry, usually heavier weapons, more health. Then this game is like, okay, not only are we going to do that, we're going to give enemies with melee and guns to make it harder for you to take them out. Okay, cool. To make it even harder, we're going to give enemies with shields. I fucking hate enemies with shields. And I'm going to go on a mini rant. I think enemies with shields are the worst fucking infantry types in any single fucking video game you ever fucking do. All they are is we're going to put this impossible fucking barrier around them that you can't do anything in the entire game to be fun. You have to do some stupid fucking bullshit where you have to go wrap around them and just sit there and be like, well, we got to stop gameplay. If people don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, look up the fucking, what's his face from Doom Eternal. The boss everyone fucking hates. All he has is the Marauder. All he has is this big fucking shield. And you got to stop the fucking game to focus on this one enemy. You know what Miles does? Just this fucking giant ass Falcon punch and murders the motherfucker in one shot. I was like, thank fucking God, I don't have to sit here and fight these stupid shield guys.
Yeah, but then again, it's like I'll pull a U and just fuck with you, make you more mad. Are you sure you're saying that like because of the game and most games having an issue, or you just suck at beating those guys and now you're just pissed off?
No, it's annoying because it's like when you're playing a lot of the games, again, Arkham, this game, again, Doom Eternal, fucking Far Cry. When you're shooting, it's a lot of fun. Oh, you're behind cover and you're shooting. And then this big guy with a shield comes forward, and it's like, well, I can't shoot him. Like, grenades don't work in front of him. A missile can block it. Thor's hammer doesn't fucking bounces off of it. What I gotta do? I gotta now run around and hope I can hit his one ass cheek so that he fucking dies so I can get back to enjoying the fucking game.
I like your cut, G.
By the way, I just want to make fun of Solidus really quick. He's like, y'all gotta stop my game. Did y'all jabronis read or heard Miles' comic origins? That shit's been explained. It's like, did you try to be cool telling us, did you read this, like, not so well-known comic? And did you, like, get
wait, sorry. Are you saying the Miles Morales is a not well-known comic?
What, the fucking Miles comic origins not as well known as Marvel or Spider-Man, like the main Spider-Man.
Yes,
shit.
but it's still very popular. Like they do. Solidus has a point that the DLC explained his powers, his electrical powers. It's a buildup of bioelectrical powers. No, but the only thing they don't explain is why he has it.
No, but the thing that's stupid though, it's like I'm playing this. Like I don't understand when people have that thing. Like where it's just like if something else explains something of this property and a different property, then if you didn't read all the properties because everyone has like a million years to fucking read, write, make, watch, hear every single thing about this game, then this game doesn't have to do it. It's like, what the fuck is it? That's like,
there are two things though. This is an established property, so to a certain degree, you need to
half the shit's not even canon because they take things away.
Canon versus not canon. Like a lot of the stuff in the Marvel universe is canon. It's just when they're telling different stories, they technically do happen, but it's the core of the character. This power, same thing with his camo. You want to talk about something that never gets explained in the game? They exhaustively go into the bioelectricity and how he absorbs the power and how he's able to release it in the punch. They completely ignore camo. Camo is forgotten in this game. He shows it once in a cutscene and never talks about it ever again. They literally never acknowledge his camouflage powers throughout that entire fucking game, and that's something that threw me off. I'm like, was this game supposed to be longer, but you guys got cut short because they wanted to release it for the next-gen consoles?
On that, though, I think that is the case. Because here's the thing, man. Story-wise, I feel like the story doesn't go longer than like 2.5 hours, maybe even like 2 hours. And most of this is a length of just you wanting to fuck around and do like the side missions and just have fun and fling your stupid webs around. So it's like, this game does feel a little bit shorter than the 2018 Spider-Man game.
Yeah, not half.
And I think the big part of that too, and this is something I really get fucking frustrated on. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a clip here. There's a scene before he does a stealth mission with Genki, and later on you know her, Finn, and she becomes way more important in this whole story anyways. But look at this shit. Like, you walk around your room, and every time you grab something or press X to examine anything, it takes so fucking long for just nothingness. And then, like, shit, like his mom's like, hey, honey, can you put the music on? I'm making some sopa. Or whatever the fuck. It's like, dude, can
literally
you play
how he does every Mexican. And by the way, that's the first of all, that's very early in the game. And that's why it's very early in the game.
It happens a lot. It happens way later, too. Because for one, okay, like, you get the big set piece, right, where you fight Rhino. And then, like, or whatever the fuck, I don't even know his fucking name. But you fight the big Rhino-looking motherfucker. And then, like...
Rhino?
Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, because I thought...
His name is Rhino. They call him Alexi because that's his real fucking name, no, but he's literally called the Rhino.
Okay, I know you're trying to make me look stupid, but the thing is, when you're into comic books like this, I would expect that since it's so popular, they would actually be creative and come up with something better than, he looks like a rhino, name him Rhino. It's like, why don't you fucking comic writers come up with some shit?
He's a motherfucker with a rhino suit, so they call him Rhino. He's been down since the fucking 60s, man. Like, Shocker and Vulture. Like, you're mad at Vulture?
I'm just saying, there's shit from way back in the day.
No, fuck you.
I'm just saying, like, back in the day.
They call him Alexi throughout 95% of the game, so they call him by his real fucking name.
then I was wrong. You could have just corrected me, but like, it's Rhino, dumb
Yeah,
fuck.
I did.
we're going back and forth on a dude named Rhino's name. I'm trying to get out of here. I want to go contour my nose.
You can go do
What
that.
does that
but
even
the thing is,
mean?
though, is like, Alan, that doesn't like you.
You don't need
argue
to know,
the
Alan. God
simplest
damn it.
shit.
His name's fucking Rhino. He's a fucking dude who's basically a fucking rhino. What else do you guys got to say about the
He's a
goddamn
doodle,
game?
goddammit, Alan.
But why doesn't he just
Fucking
say, he could have corrected me and we could have been past this, like, well, his name's Lexi. But he's like, dude,
I
Rhino. It's
literally
like, I
said
was
that
right then.
afterwards. I'm like, the guy named Rhino, and they call him Alexi,
that's
but
the
you're too
point.
busy
But
being angry.
You're ignoring. You're like interrupting again. I'm trying to tell you, you could have just said that instead of being a dick first. This is why we
You're
can't.
always a dick.
Y'all still talking about that thing from Amazon?
Jesus Christ. Anyways, the fucking Rhino, Alan. The thing is, right after that, right after the fucking set piece, you know, you get 15 to fucking 30 minutes of him just walking around while you can't even smell the food they're fucking making. The mom's talking on the phone. Every time you walk 5 feet away from her, the conversation just completely ends. So someone to even fucking like sit there and record enough audio to sound like a legitimate fucking conversation in the kitchen. And look at that. Look how much meandering's here. It's like, this is why this game is long, or as long as it is, and it's still not long. How much game are we actually playing here? This game costs a lot of fucking money, guys. And you're just walking around the fucking house like, I'm going to check the mail. Oh, look at that. He's looking at the Prowler. Oh, that's fucking interesting. I guess I'll go over here and look at a piece of paper that says, who is the Spider-Man? I know who the Spider-Man is. I'm the fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of, the reason that that's actually there in the dialogue is like, yeah, the mother got it because they mentioned the father in there that died shortly after. It's a memento. But hey, just ignore them trying to work because it's not like, super fast world building.
Oh, look at Solid just throwing his wallet around. Yeah, it's only $10 less than last game. Dude, food costs like less than 10. I'm supposed to spend like fucking 40 to 50 on a goddamn video game that literally just has me walking around. You know what I have in real life for free? I can just walk around my house and look at
legs.
Yeah, I
Wow.
can just look at my I can pick my controller and say, that's the controller. I can fucking, thank you very much for that, Julian. I appreciate it. But it's just kind of like, I mean, there has to be something said here, Alan. Like, you're playing a game that everyone was excited about. It's on the next-gen console, and we're just walking around like, oh, man, look at that. It's a piece of paper. Let's examine it. Yes, that is a piece of paper. Anyways.
I know this is really off topic, but can you go back to the game?
Shut up. God damn it.
No, I mean, like, can you actually just go back to, like, him, like, picking up... Okay, yeah. Very off topic, but his outfit reminds me I need to get some sweaters, because it's getting cold out here.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
chilly.
it does. But, I mean, like...
Just a reminder for you guys, if you guys live in a very cold area, go ahead and get those sweaters. You can't be like me and walk around in crop tops most of the time. It's getting cold. Go ahead and put those away and grab your sweaters.
And
Get a nice
this.
record for some Christmas music.
Really quick, and the trolling is so bad in this chat, because I'm looking over here and Solid is like, weren't you playing Call of Duty Cold War last week? Yeah. You shoot things, and there's zombies, and there's explosions, and there's fucking missions. There is no part in Cold War where I spend almost half an hour looking at paper. He's looking at paper. What the fuck is this? By the way, too, Alan I think his shit just lagged out, or he got mad. He's like, fuck you.
Or he fucking said, I'm out. I quit again.
Hopefully he comes back in. But yeah, they're saying it's called immersion, Nick. Yeah, not that much. I'm already immersed, sir. I don't know, man. Like, if you want to defend it that much, cool. Like, I'm not gonna say that you're stupid or anything, like everyone fucking be saying to me. I'm not getting that offensive as far as defensive in comparison. But the thing is, though, is like this is a thing where it's many percents of this game. It's just fucking walking around looking at shit. And it was way worse in 2018 Spider-Man. Not so bad in here, and I use that as a point for this game in a positive light. But that is fucking ridiculous. He says you're just a hater. Well, that sucks. But Alan's not here, so I'll continue on. The one thing else I want to just bring up as far as this stuff goes, though, is like I do think that the pacing of this does kind of kick up as far as when you find out who the Tinkerer is. I think that the reveals for all these characters are actually pretty cool. There's this character, Uncle Aaron. And you find out that he's actually, and spoilers, by the way, for anyone who actually doesn't want to be spoiled. But then again, didn't you read the comics, man? You should know fucking everything.
Didn't you watch the movie?
Yeah, I think that's more. I think more people will know that from the movie.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Because once again, I
No,
don't watch
this
shit.
one is Spider-Verse.
What?
Spider-Verse, sir.
The Into the Spider-Verse movie, like they mentioned it.
No,
in the
no.
movie.
Well, I know that, but is this movie connected to that movie, or is this game connected to that movie?
What?
Yeah, that's part of his origin story.
You said it.
That's his
You
Uncle
said
Ben.
Uncle Aaron and Uncle Aaron's in Spider-Verse.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying though, like, guys, so I don't like. I'm trying not to like insult anybody's intelligence when they question me, but you do know that like these are all different canons. Like, there's like a million canons, and they all don't have names. You're just supposed to know the canons. So like, what happened in Spider-Verse didn't necessarily happen in this universe. Like, I mean, or am I wrong?
No, we're just saying like the name's still the same.
Yeah, he's like his Uncle Ben.
Uncle Aaron in both.
Okay. Well,
Like his uncle appears throughout most of his iterations, except maybe one, but then it gets like hinted at. So like he's like his Uncle Ben figure. Like he's the one that changes him into what becomes Spider-Man Miles Morales. Ugh.
no, but I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, because I'm about to say a reveal really quick. But the thing is like,
Okay.
there's people that don't know about Spider-Verse, I would imagine still. And the thing is like, there's certain things from the comics and the movie and from other things that don't necessarily happen here. Like, that hasn't happened. Like, in here, when the reveal happens, that is proof that this game is not in the same universe, because if it was, he would have already known the reveal. Because technically, like, his uncle's gone now. But in here, he's not. See what I'm saying? Like, that's how crazy the story. Like, this is how retarded this shit is. And I hate using that word, but people, like, this is fucking dumb. And it's always defended by everybody. But it's really, really, really stupid. Like, everything that happens never happens. Like, that's the craziness of the multiverse. And the fucking... There's 4 Spider-Man canons currently alive and going right now as we speak. Like, that's insane. And then because of Spider-Verse, technically the Sam Raimi movies are actually still canon, but not canon. Like, it's ridiculous. But I'm looking over here, though, man. You know, you get the reveal, obviously, that, you know, your Uncle Aaron, who was actually really cool and was talking to you and actually knew your identity and everything, which your character, Miles, never asked him how does he know. But you find out the reason why he does know who you are and knows that you're Spider-Man, because he's a prowler. He's been, you know, keeping tabs on you and everything. And then the girl that you're really into, Finn, that you were talking to during the Christmas party that I was showing when you were doing the stealth mission at the beginning of the game, she's actually technically the villain as well as a love interest in the story. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this, is that you're in a situation where, you know, there's not some weird thing like, oh, I don't want to show MJ that I'm Spider-Man because she'll know about my shit. It's like... It's not stupid like that. Like, in here, she's the villain, and the reason why you don't want her to know, because if she does, she'll fucking kill you. But you love her, though. So it's like this really crazy, interesting, like, dynamic there that I really appreciated. I think that that's something that you don't see too often in video games, and the fact that someone can be a villain while as well as heroic, as well as the love interests. I mean, this game's pulling a lot of things and being able to do them very, very well. As far as the boss fights, the only boss in the game is Rhino. And that was the thing I was going to get into when Alan was here. But yeah, like the fact that, you know, Rhino is the only boss is actually pretty interesting, considering the fact that, you know, you fight him so many times and yet each fight actually is a lot different than the one before it. That's a super, super cool thing. And I guess by the end of the game, to wrap this all up, is like, I really do enjoy the fact that it's doing the same thing that the 2018 game did. So if you do like the 2018 game, you can get this and fucking have a blast with it. But the story, for me, is what really sells it, because it actually is something that continues to move on consistently, while at the same time doing shit that I just wasn't expecting and no other Spider-Man property has done. And this actually really solidifies Miles Morales being way more interesting and way more like... There's way more potential for Miles than there is Peter Parker. I'm really sick of fucking Peter Parker. That character is fucking boring to me. And yeah, it gets in my fucking... gets my nerves sometimes, all the love for Peter Parker. And Miles, I think, is way more interesting. But Alan, you're here. Yeah. I pretty much talked about the Tinker, and I talked about the fact that Rhino's pretty much the only boss you fight for most of the game until the very, very end. But to wrap it up, though, what would you give this as far as rating goes, and anything else that you want to say that I probably already covered? Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, because I'm not sure where we left off, but I think what I really enjoyed the game is that like I said earlier, it really goes into Miles, why he deserves to have this power, why he's able to stand up on his own. And yeah, it doesn't focus on Peter Parker. And something that I've always said for people that have wondered certain things that I like why I love Young Justice, is I'm always a fan when they're going for the B heroes as opposed to always the A heroes. Because I like Peter Parker, but his story's been around for 60, 70 years. It'd be nice to tell a different story, and they do that with Miles. My only problem, and this will be some of the criticism, is I feel like there were certain moments in this game where they didn't let it breathe. There were certain emotional kicks where I'm like, if you just let that sit for a couple more seconds, you would have nailed exactly what you wanted. There's like at least 3 or 4 moments where I'm like, just let it breathe for 2 more seconds, and you would have got exactly what you wanted, but they rushed it a little bit too much. But I like all the additions to the gameplay. I think that a lot of the stuff they added felt like it feels very close to a sequel. If it wasn't for the length of the game, this basically would be a sequel to the PS4 Spider-Man. And as far as the boss encounters, I think the addition of the Venom made it a lot more fun for the bosses. Because the bosses in the Spider-Man, some were okay, but it was very like, which boss here is like Rhino? You kind of, whatever. Vulture was cool because he could fly. Mr. Negative was really cool, just depending on the boss encounter. But the two you have here is actually, there's a lot of boss fights in this game, but the Venom Punch makes it so there's a lot more variety in how you're actually approaching these bosses. So it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a really, really cool aspect of the game. But yeah, man, and like I once again, I mean, that's just, just to reiterate some of the things you said as well as what I said earlier, is I said before, I really, really enjoyed the fact that they got so much mileage out of like the small mountain bosses. That's something you don't see very often in video games, especially comic book shit. And then once again, the Tinkerer, those reveals are really, really good. I like what they did with the Prowler and the Tinkerer, man. Like that shit was really, really cool. I mean, you gotta consider this, man. You're playing a game that the villain is a love interest and also the hero. Like that's, I don't know. Like, I mean, do you agree with that particular synopsis in my brain?
No, that's fine. Are we going? Sorry, do we go into spoilers?
Well, everyone's talking in the chat like they already fucking know the entire game because they read a comic book, so I don't know. I don't really give a shit.
Okay, no. I was like, good avoid it. Like I said, just in case someone missed it. I do like the choice of who they got for what they end up getting. I did like that they didn't feel the need to dwell too much on a lot of the reveals, on a lot of stuff that's going on, because you do have people that have, are coming in from 10, 15 years of comic book history, so they didn't sit there and be like, oh, who is it? It's actually pretty quick, actually, who everyone is and who everyone needs to be. And I appreciate that, especially the Prowler. I think that's the only thing I'll say is the reveal for the Prowler is so quick that I'm like, really? Okay. They didn't feel the need to, like, extend it because, like, hey, everyone's seen Spider-Verse. Most people have read the comics. So it's like, that makes a lot of sense. But I think that they got a lot of mileage out of it. They managed to do everything very, very well. Honestly, I want a full game. I want a full Miles game. I want a full 25-hour game where you just tell a different kind of story, because we got his origin out of the way. Now tell a different story and maybe have Spider-Man pop up a couple times. But I want them to split off and like, hey, you got a Spider-Man game one year, maybe you get a Miles the next year.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do some Treyarch and Sledgehammer shit with it. No, I'm just playing.
No, not that. I don't want Spider-Man games to come out yearly, but I want to be, hey, this year is going to be Miles, and then the next game is going to be Peter. That way we keep these stories, because I don't want a situation, because, again, this is for comic book people. Miles' introduction to the universe results in Peter Parker's death. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we always have to kill off the old guard just to have the new guard in. I hate that shit.
I mean, true, but then again, you get people like me who are like, well, where's he at? Have him come back. So I can kind of see why they do that all the time, but it is what it is. I give this for
I
sure.
feel like it's lazy writing. We don't know what to do with Spider-Man, because we can't just have him retire. We can't have him somewhere else. Let's just kill him so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
For me, 3 out of 5.
That's what they did. They just kill him.
But what would you rate it, number-wise?
So the PS4 Spider-Man that came out 2 years ago, I would give that an 8 out of 10. This one is, it's weird because the stuff that it does a lot of stuff better. It does a lot of stuff. The Miles does a lot of stuff better. I think some of the combat choices are a lot better. I think the stealth missions are way fucking better, and I think parts of the story are way better. But it feels too much. They feel way too similar for me to give it a better rating. So I'm gonna give it like a 7.5, slightly less, only because I wish that okay, this is gonna be the dumbest thing in the world. I want the combat to feel different for the next one, because you played Arkham Asylum. Cool. No one's ever done a combat system like that. You play Arkham City, you perfected it. The next 2 Arkham games don't feel that much different. It just feels we changed up some of the enemy types, but it didn't feel that different. This, even though they added the Venom Punch and the camo, it still had the same things, the same button combos, the same kind of stuff that the previous one had. So there were times where it didn't feel that different, but there are other times where it did. I want the next Spider-Man change the combat, make it feel like a different game, but keep some of the stuff that worked. So that's why this is 7.5 and the original was 8.
Okay, I can see that being the case too. But yeah, man, for me, I prefer this way more than I did the last one. So that's why I'm giving this a 3 out of 5 instead of the 2 out of 5 that I gave the last one.
The 0.
Yeah, because I mean, I almost hated the other one, but the thing is like that was one of the best Peter Parkers we've ever had. But then again, that's not saying much because Peter Parker fucking sucks. So I don't know what to say. But moving on from this, and this is where I'm going to throw it a lot towards Jet because I know nothing about Animaniacs other than the 2020 version, and who knows if that's even authentic to what the show even is.
I didn't even know we were gonna do this goddamn review. I was just going through the goddamn PlayStation store while you guys were arguing back and forth about Rhino.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. But yeah. So
I want to go back to you never watched the original?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I did. I watched a ton of it because I had to, because there was nothing else on TV, and I fucking hate the original. I cannot stand Animaniacs. I really, really can't.
Okay, whoa.
Even though there's Zany to the max?
What
They're
about
too
Pinky
fucking
in the
zany.
Brain?
I've always liked Pinky in the Brain a little bit,
Okay,
but like,
okay, we're friends. We're still friends.
Okay.
So the thing that you'll notice about Nico is he doesn't like anything that uses humor that has to rely on anything going on nowadays.
So what? I love Extra Family, Bob's Burgers, fucking
going on nowadays, meaning as like pop culture references.
Okay, but I do like new shit. Come back.
You don't like it used in like current shows. Like you absolutely despise Deadpool and his fourth wall breaking.
No, I did, but there's things I've seen done that's not so bad. But I mean, hey, you know what? Actually, I'll just agree with you. Fuck it, because we're just gonna go back and forth like me and Alan did. Fine, yes, I'm a dumb fuck and I hate things and I'm old and I got.
That doesn't mean you're dumb. You just don't like things that use meta humor.
Yeah, she was just coming with the criticism. And you're like, I'm gonna shoot myself.
Well, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't see it that way, so I'll agree, disagree, even though people hate when I say that shit too. But you know,
I can tell you right now, like. A lot of people in this call can say they know you better than you know yourself.
And some of those people can't read. So, anyways.
Damn right.
I mean, like, you can't really read either. You fucked up a whole bunch of people in the chats, like, paragraphs earlier.
All right, well, anyways, Animaniacs, for fuck's sake. Like, what the fuck is this? Intervention?
This is an intervention, Nick.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Clearly staged. That's what I'm saying.
So, about the goddamn show, like, I didn't see this shit. I know you watched it back in the day because you like being happy or something. I don't know. Like, what do you remember about Animaniacs, and were you hyped or happy about this shit coming out on Hulu?
Were you talking to me?
Oh, shit.
You
gotta clarify.
Do I call you by your real name or the username?
Like, you were talking about Alan watching it back in there, saying, "Okay, you're still talking to him."
Talking to you.
All right then.
God damn it.
Say her name then.
The thing is who knows? Because like everyone has two different fucking names in this call. So like, do I go by username or real names? What do I do? Jet, does that work?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, so. Words. What is going through your head currently?
About the show, I'm actually very happy that it's back. I actually really enjoyed Animaniacs back in the day, but I feel like I enjoyed Freakazoid way more. I wasn't that big of a fan of Pinky in the Brain, to be honest. It was Animaniacs and Freakazoid for me.
So it didn't bother you, Jet, at all when there was moments where these characters are fucking yelling a bunch, Jet?
That's what they do. They scream. They're Animaniacs. They're zany to the max.
Okay. For me, I don't like that loud ass fucking. Goddamn, Julian, hammer the fuck out of that fucking joke. Jesus Christ. Yes, swagger like a black teen.
But don't you get it though? The swagger. Don't you get it?
I think the black teen has swagger.
A swagger of a black teen.
Hashtag swagger.
Maybe
swagger.
if I say it more often and louder, people would find it funny.
Swagger.
Nick, you don't have enough swagger. That's why you don't get Animaniacs.
I don't think it's because I'm not a black teen.
Right.
Oh, there we go. We got a small chuckle on
There we go. Sweet. All right. So here's the thing. There's no swagger or black teens in this fucking thing. But the thing is, I didn't like this show.
I mean, we don't know that. The Animaniacs could actually just be black kids.
You know, that'd be hilarious. Not like any like haha racial thing, but just like this whole time.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to say the show.
We're just in blackface.
Oh, the characters are drawn black.
See, now you made it weird.
Did I? I felt like that's where we were going with this, but okay.
No, we weren't. I was trying to actually avoid that, sir.
Thanks a fucking lot, Alan.
Shut the hell up! And It's all this exaggerated slang.
We were having fun until you showed up.
Yeah, that's
With your
usually how it goes.
KKK hood and shit.
Dragstruction, thank you very much for following, man. Really appreciate it. And this is quite a crazy one, so I hope that you don't leave after this.
Basically, we're the live action Animaniacs.
Pretty much. And wow, so we're annoying because
And we're saying to the max.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
when I watched this show back in the day and I was a kid,
Has anyone considered us not annoying?
I'm wondering. The thing is, though, and no, you're not the only one, Julian, but God, so many people are doing it. It's fucking annoying. But the thing is, though, is I'm looking at here, back in the day when I was watching this, and I was a little kid, so I used to get all zany myself, make noises and shit, because all little boys had to be fucking crazy. And yeah, I watched this, and it literally made me grow up a little bit, because it was so fucking annoying. It was so loud. Thank you for them bits. But yeah, I just couldn't understand. And like every time I had friends around too, because I was young, so like lots of my friends would come over and they would watch stuff with me, and they would all start acting crazy because the show's acting crazy, and it would like slowly start this crazy domino effect of crazy kids just fucking breaking things, stepping on shit, running around. And the show was like, yeah, keep losing your fucking mind.
Yeah, and then Nick grew up and then started listening to Limp Bizkit, break stuff.
Well, fuck you. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, but I asked Jed, I brought up my thing, but Alan, your experiences with Animaniacs back in the day.
Oh, I adored the fuck out of this show. Like, this was one of those shows where there's a lot of jokes I just didn't get till I saw clips later when I was an adult. But it was just, again, this was the golden age of cartoons where, yeah, things were crazy, things were nuts, but it was just all fun humor at the end of the day. It's just crazy people doing crazy shit, and I loved it because everyone was just having a good fucking time. Like, to me, it's like, I loved Animaniacs, but Pinky and the Brain was the show that I fucking fell in love with. I literally got pen and pad every single night so I could write down the lyrics so I could memorize the theme song. Because I fucking love that theme song so much.
Pinky and the Brain, brain. I love that shit.
Oh my god. So I do have a question though. Okay, the theme song intros, are they the same or did they change them?
I think they changed lyrically a couple things, but musically they're
no.
still the same.
Yeah. No, like they're the same except at the end they do with the original. They changed the last word in the theme song. Although you know what, actually they did change it, but it's still in the same same theme of like the original.
Yeah. Wait, what about the Pinky and the Brain theme?
No, that's the same. That's like straight up the same.
Thank God. Okay, we're good.
But Animaniacs, I think there is some. I mean, I felt like there was changes. I could be wrong, but it is what it is. I don't know. Who knows? But I mean, because like they're so like there was zany, and it's like Jesus, shut the fuck up. Like
it's a good theme, the Animaniacs. I love the Pinky and the Brain theme. They put so much reverence in this stupid fucking kid show.
Yeah. No, it like sounds like talking about their dick. Like we're veiny,
We're veiny, goddamn.
We're veiny. We've been working out too much.
We're zany. We're veiny. It's like my pee-pee. Oh goddamn. No, I hate that shit. It's just loud. I'm probably waking up my neighbors right now, yelling. I'm fucking doing that goddamn song. But when I look at this though, for one, I love the way it looks. I think the 2020 version looks fucking beautiful. I think they did a really good job with the animation here and the drawing and everything. But then it's like right away, like this scene right here, they're already talking about like, hey, make sure to make jokes about reboots. We gotta make sure to talk about the fact that like we're back and it's been 20-something years. Blah blah blah. When I get into the Pinky and the Brain stuff, and this is what I mean about the difference in quality of storytelling and these characters. When I get to Pinky and the Brain, I think that this is legitimately, like, they are coming up with new stories on this, and they don't constantly bring out, and granted, this part he shows a tablet, so that's kind of annoying. But, like, for the most part, there's new stories in Pinky and the Brain, while Animaniacs are just bringing up shit that's like, wow, you just did a Deadpool. Like, you literally just did the same fucking
thing.
That's what they do.
We gotta stop saying that, that's what they do, that's what they did. Animaniacs' entire thing was a parody of Warner Brothers at the time. That's what the show's entire thing was. Warner Brothers and the sister Dot. It was just a parody of everything that was going on internally and externally at Warner Brothers. Hell, Freakazoid was the same fucking way. They straight up...
Oh, man, that internet's bad.
They straight up cut up his internet.
Mm-hmm. He's veiny.
Freakazoid came out of the fucking TV. Freakazoid came out of the fucking TV and basically got his ass.
Hit him with a fucking hammer and shit.
He's probably yelling so much at that fucking thing. But Jet, for you though...
I should be laughing at that.
But Jet, I'm gonna ask you though, what'd you feel about the 2020 remake when you first started watching it again? Earlier today.
No, honestly, I actually had fun with it. Like, it seems exactly like how it was back in the 90s. Like, except for, like, more recent pop sketches and everything like that, like it's kind of the exact same. It doesn't seem like they changed like that much, which actually is pretty good because it keeps its charm.
And I guess it's one of the situations too where it comes down to like, okay, the people who like this don't want really a change. They want you to continue on doing the same thing you did before, because that's the whole reason why they want this. But do you feel like they adulted it up a little bit because they know that the fans that you remember this are old now? So like, do you feel like this is more for adults versus?
No, they didn't change it at all. Like the original Animaniacs was always like a tiny bit adult as well. Like they had adult jokes in there that kids wouldn't recognize at all. And right now it's kind of the exact same. There's jokes in here that you like kids won't catch, but adults will catch really fast.
By the way, guys, I'm sorry for laughing at what she was saying. It just y'all don't even know what it looks like on my end. But Alan just came in and his thing like froze right away, and his face looked like he was gonna take a shit. And then I just kicked him out within 2 seconds before he said anything. Oh shit! So if he does come back and he doesn't know what's going on, we're not gonna.
Is it wrong when an internet company cyberbullies you?
Basically, yeah, it's fucked up. I felt that shit many a time myself. But if he does come back, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to reiterate everything we said because I want to repeat too much. That's been a lot of this show. So yeah, sorry about that ahead of time, guys. But
yeah, like Ryan was saying, yeah, it does seem to aim older, but at the same time, kids can still enjoy it because hell, like Pinky right there, literally brought up porn in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
I think it was the first episode. Yeah, he made a reference to porn, and just like, okay, like smaller people won't actually catch that joke that he was actually trying to say, but like adults would be able to catch, and that's the exact same way it was in the original.
Now, my thing, Ganja, did you watch any of this, by the way?
I wasn't too much of an Animaniacs fan. I was more of a Tiny Toons as well as like original Looney Tunes. I just could never really get into it. Even when it comes to Freakazoid, I had no real relations with it. Like, I had to say it, Alan, I kind of always chased the channel when Freakazoid came on for the same reason that Nick talks about. Like, it really fucking was too jarring for me at that age. I kind of appreciate now the more meta humor now as I'm an adult. But at that time, I was like, this is dumb.
Or
Yeah.
What about you, Roxanne? Rox, you still there?
Yeah.
Did you watch any Animaniacs back in the day, and did you watch any of the 2021?
I wanted to watch the 2021, but, Garrett doesn't have Hulu, which I found out, sadly, when I was cleaning around the house. But I was a big Freakazoid fan, mostly. But I loved Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, that whole, like, Tasmania, that whole block that they had happening beforehand, Pinky and the Brain and all them. I used to love the fuck out of them. But by far, Freakazoid was my favorite.
Yeah, and I gotta watch Freakazoid at some point. I know that's gonna be a thing that's somewhat trending soon because of the whole. He's gonna be connected with some other people soon, so we'll see how that's gonna come out.
Hashtag Teen Titan Go Superior Teen Titans.
Literally not. Sure.
Freakazoid is the main one that actually should come back, considering all the superhero shit that's out nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's perfect time for him to come back.
Yeah, no, it probably is right now. And I'm just surprised that like that hasn't been brought up way sooner because I only heard many people talking about Freakazoid when this started being talked about, this Animaniacs thing. So it's kind of weird, like just like damn, did the last 10 years no one even bring that up, or am I just not paying attention?
It's not that. It's just, back in the day when Freakazoid was a thing. It was people loved it, but it wasn't nearly as popular as the other shows. Some brought up Tiny Toons, and then you have Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. Those were the top tier. No one really talked about Freakazoid that much. It was really fucking weird. So if you liked it, you loved it, but if you didn't hear about it, you're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah. But I'm looking at this now. Here's the thing. Not to start talking shit about something else.
Wait, you guys were serious that Teen Titans Go Freakazoid crossover? I thought you were fucking with me.
No, that's
legit.
I will. I'm gonna.
That's why I said Teen Titans Go is the superior show.
Yeah,
I will kill you.
Well, what?
Just watch it, Alan.
No.
Please.
Hey, if you start misbehaving,
nothing will make me watch that.
If you start misbehaving again, Aaron's gonna turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I wish I was back when I forgot that existed. God damn it.
But no, so looking at this though, I will say that the first episode was okay. Lots of and granted, every time I say like, oh, it's some like Deadpool shit, everyone's like, well, no, that's what they do. So it's like it's not Deadpool shit, it's Animaniacs shit. And it's like, oh, okay, so it's that thing that I didn't like before, and here it is again. But then when I asked you too, Jet, earlier when you were saying basically that kids can watch it, the only reason why I wanted to ask you that so I can bounce off into this thing is I do not like. I'll even go on a different tangent just to not completely talk shit about this. Stand-up comedy. I love stand-up comedy, and I love all types of jokes. I don't give a fuck if you're saying something about fat people or Mexicans or saying something on the side of us. I don't care. However, the Donald Trump shit needs to fucking stop. I am so fucking sick of lazy motherfuckers, even like lazy friends who just want to say something about Trump, so then all his friends go, wow, he must be an okay guy. He also agrees with my political opinion. Like, dude, bring something else to the fucking table. When comedians do that shit...
I mean, like they said in the first episode, they wrote that stuff in 2018. You know, it's not the first time they talked about Trump. They talked about Trump in the 90s as well.
Well, yeah, but like, stop. Like, I mean, so they were doing this joke for fucking decades then? Like... That doesn't save it at all. Like, the fact that this came out...
he was still been like a big person, like, back in the 90s. Like, he was pretty rich, so he was a talking point.
I guess, but it's like, I mean, you know who else is, too? Bill Clinton. Are we still talking about, you know, him, Monica Lewinsky?
He was a character in the original show. Did they... I was expecting to bring him back.
Yeah, he was on here, too. And they had a whole Donald Trump character who's, like, orange and doing a bunch of gross shit.
I can't wait to watch this, man.
And it's like, whatever, but then it's like, it does, once again, this fucking stupid thing. Like, I don't like preachy shit, too. Like, I went with this with Original Kings of Comedy, where everyone's telling good jokes, one of the best stand-up specials ever, and then Steve Harvey comes out and acts like it's fucking church. Like, it's not, I'm here to fucking laugh. I'm not here to have you give yourself a fucking big old little... congratulatory spank on your own ass, like, you're a good guy, you know what you need to do is treat your girl right. Like, he's just doing that shit the whole fucking, like, that's his whole bit, that's his whole gig.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they would have to talk about Trump, like, regardless, because they talk about, like, events that are happening, like, in the current time, so it would happen eventually. So, I mean, it's better that they actually did it early on rather than later.
True. But one thing that really frustrated me in this show is that there's an episode where they had this really annoying fucking song about when women first voted. And that's cool. And I'm fine with that. But it was long. And the song was kind of catchy, I guess. I don't like musicals, but that whole thing's going on. And the thing is, like you're saying, it's for kids. Kids are not going to know what this shit's about. They're not going to know. They don't even want to hear about fucking Trump. Or the money stuff. Or the fucking women's voting thing. I mean, is this going to be funny or is it going to be educational? Can they choose
both?
one?
Actually, both. So look up the fucking country song from back in the day where, oh my God.
They make a reference to that, too, in the new one as well.
Yeah. The thing about the Animaniacs, which was made it brilliant, is it was for both. It was for kids and for adults. The adult jokes were hidden in there. That's what I said earlier in the review. There's a lot of jokes here. I didn't realize that they were in the show until months later. The most common one is the fingerprints, where it's like, oh, we're looking for fingerprints. She's like, here's prints. I said fingerprints. It's just like, fuck, I ain't doing that.
No.
Like that's a joke we're not gonna get when we're kids. When you're adult, you're like, oh shit, okay. I can't believe they got away with that.
Yeah, and I'm looking over here the country song that you're referring to.
That song is amazing,
and that is cool. Then maybe I'm wrong then, you know. So I almost should just stop what I was gonna say, but I did feel passionately like irritated about this because for one, I don't know shit about history. That's Ganja's thing. That's I guess at this point now probably Alan's thing as well. But more so about the thing that this particular song was about is Jet's thing because it's about women, etc. The thing is though, Jet brought something to my attention. And I got instantly fucking irritated because they're like talking shit about, voting is everyone talks about voting, but like it's fucked up what they did to women and blah blah blah. And they do a song about like the triumphantness of women being able to vote, and they never bring up or even make a song or even a slight jab, nod, whatever to the idea that black women and minority women were not able to vote till 1965. And I'm like, okay, so you're gonna do a fucking song, a big ass long song joke about something. And talk about white women, and point the finger. Yes, the government's bad, and politics are bad, and this is bad, and blah blah blah.
Queen.
And then you're not gonna talk about black women like as if they don't fucking matter. So you're gonna point the finger at people, and then you're not gonna want the finger pointing back at you. Fuck you, preaching motherfuckers. Like, I hate that shit. Like, what the fuck is that?
It's easy. They probably were like, hey, can we do this? And Warner Brothers and Hulu, we'll cancel you in 2 fucking seconds if you think about that. And they're like, well, shit, we either don't have a show or we do this. Like they probably were considering that, but there's no way they're gonna let you get away with it.
It goes back, and
that song actually changed into something else a little bit later because they something got brought up and the whole like women's rights thing basically got turned into something else. So I guess they used it in order to do a different sketch.
Yeah.
So it gets a pass.
And I guess it gets a pass, but my whole thing is like, and this is where I get mad about lots of shit. I don't like preachy shit. I hate when people like. I mean, this is the thing too. And honestly, I wasn't even that mad at Justin Timberlake when this happened. But it's like when Justin Timberlake went out there and said, "You guys need to stop stealing from black people. I'm gonna go back and do some R&B." Like, really? We should stop, sir? What the fuck? You know? And then it's like, and so many people do that shit. They get on their soapboxes and they forget the skin on their on their bones. They forget. And if you're gonna be pointing a finger at people and say you, how about fucking you? And this show does it too. And it's like, you know, where's the song about black people? What's the song about Mexicans, Puerto Ricans? What's the song about natives? That shit's not touched on at all in this show. But they want to fucking do a nice political little sing and dance fucking thing, so they can get the points for that. Fuck you guys.
Okay, that's really interesting discussion point that you can almost like an entire episode or hours on. There is that as soon as somebody brings up a point, the counter argument is, why didn't you talk about everyone else? It's like that's a rabbit hole. That's the definition of a rabbit hole.
But if this is a show that's only 20 minutes long, as a matter of fact, not even that long, because Pinky and the Brain takes a whole section out. So if you got 13 minutes to do something, then how about shut your fucking mouth, do your little stupid ass, loud fucking Animaniacs, crazy, wacky, poo poo gaga fucking shit, and don't come up here and start trying to fucking preach when you're a trio of stupid ass cartoons, two of you with fucking tons hanging out your fucking mouth. You dumbasses! Like,
no, I'm gonna completely disagree with that. If you have the ability to say something, go ahead.
These kids.
I'm just saying, I hate this shit. I like, how the fuck are you gonna preach at me and you're a stupid ass cartoon? The fuck?
My god!
Like, I would hope that
he is pissed to the max.
I mean, to be honest, I feel the same way about Republicans.
True. No, we like Republicans on the show, right, Diaz?
No, we don't.
No, like, and Cedric, like, yeah, it's almost equivalent to that in a sense, but it's like, I don't know, for me, this is not me for Nick.
Oh, man, shut up, Joel. Yeah, Cedric, you're totally right, man. Those basketball players should have an opinion.
No, but it's not even that, but it's just like, you know, if you're a basketball player who, you know, disagrees with Colin Kaepernick, or like, I'm saying if you're a ball player, because, like, you know, he doesn't play basketball. But the thing is, like, if you're somebody who doesn't give a shit, whatever, then don't go preaching. You know, Colin Kaepernick, I get that. I totally get him taking a kneel and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm totally with that shit. But when there's people who don't actually, like, you know, when there's something wrong with them, like, who's that one guy that got mad a few months ago, the football player who was just like, man, I really hate that. I'm getting a bunch of shit because I'm a Republican. This is fucked up. The white dude.
There was a race car driver that said he was leaving NASCAR because they didn't want to fly the Confederate flag anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No. Hey. Goodbye.
But it's just funny, like, those guys like to do that thing where, like, they point the finger like, America, and then as soon as anything political turns around on them and they don't look so fucking good, then they start crying and go home. It's like, fuck
I think
you.
the problem.
Like,
well, no, I think the bigger problem is that the moment somebody tries to be political, they have 800 million motherfuckers screaming, well, why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? Why don't you have an opinion on this? What's your opinion on that? It's like everybody has a political opinion, but people are too afraid to say it because they get ostracized, lose their jobs. It's difficult to have a political opinion almost ever. Not nowadays. You've never had the ability to say a political opinion. Hell, you've never had the ability to say political stuff in television without it getting scrutinized by every single media outlet in the fucking world. So it's difficult to say something that basically can go under the radar. Hell, I didn't even know that happened until you guys mentioned this. I'm like, okay, let's hope maybe next season they can do something a bit more controversial. But the moment they, like, a lot of the people you're talking about, Nick, lost their fucking jobs. Colin Kaepernick lost everything until Nike was like, hey, fuck it, we make money off him, let's have him back.
yeah, and you know, I'm on Kaepernick's side in that sense, but the thing is like, there's other people, like I said, that they just, you know, like, and I wish I had more people to bring up in this sense, but like, fucking, I mean, there's lots of wrestlers that got in trouble for it recently. Like, another thing I don't like too is like with Hulk Hogan and Nia Jax, two WWE people, and I know WWE a lot more, guys, so that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm sorry, but you know, oh, I'm not gonna take the vaccine because fucking God and something has my
Fucking God.
And the thing is, like, dude, just like wrestling, God's fucking fake. Okay? And another thing is, no one asks your fucking opinion. Go out there and do your stupid little, like, hey, guys, listen to my left ear, brother. Listen to my leg drop, brother. And Nia Jax, her fucking already damaging a ton of fucking women in the roster anyways, hurting people. Like, we get it, sweetheart. You don't give a fuck about other people. Okay? You don't have to remind us that you don't care about people with your whole not taking the vaccine thing.
What happened?
What?
I thought we were talking about Animaniacs. What happened?
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's a whole thing. Like, because, like,
I'm following you, Diaz. You're trying to identify a pattern. I get where you're going.
yeah, it's just like, you know, this whole thing, like, oh, we're gonna talk about, you know, man, they treat women bad. Oh, black women. No, fuck them though. Well, that's not a funny song. We're not gonna bring that up. You know, that doesn't go with our rhymes yet, guys.
Okay,
Like, what the
and
fuck?
I do get what you're saying, Nick, and I do agree with you. And like I said earlier, there's no way they've been allowed to get at that. But they did bring up something that is important. Yes, there's modifiers in there to make it more important that they probably should have. But again, there are a lot of animated shows that aren't going to even touch on anything like that. So telling this show you should have done more, it's like at least they're putting this first step forward. Everyone likes to kick that foot back, like no, either nothing or everything. It's like we can't always just live in these extremes, man.
But all you had to do was add like maybe like 2 more lyrics, just like and then the black women, and then move on.
And the show got canceled. Like they honestly probably didn't do it because they weren't allowed. Hell, I'm surprised Watchmen could start off the fucking series with the Tulsa Massacre. I'm surprised they got away with that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I'm saying about the sense. I feel like, and that's the thing that goes into this a lot because they do lots of like they call out reboots. You know, oh, reboots is something you do when you're lazy. Mirror much, and then they beat you to the punch. They say, "Oh, just like us." That was the episode.
Yep,
it's like, yeah, like Jane and Silent Bob beat you to it. Deadpool beat you to it twice. How many people have beat you to that joke, and you just want to be like, "Oh, reboots are bad." It's like, yeah, enjoy your money. Like, am I supposed to sit here and enjoy these animators and these comedians, and these voice actors are getting a bunch of money to rub it in our face that they're not putting no effort into this? Ha ha! We're making more money because we were around 20 years ago. Woohoo! It's like anybody else you guys will talk shit about. If it was a fucking wrestling thing or a music artist or a movie maker, how many times have you get mad about Ridley Scott or somebody because they didn't make anything interesting in the last 20 years and they're doing the same shit? But yet,
I'm not mad that Ridley Scott is making alien movies. I'm mad he's making bad alien movies.
I'm just saying, Animaniacs should have done something better. Pinky and the Brain stuff is cool. I like what they're doing. They decided to do something kind of interesting. But it's like, the Animaniacs are still as loud as they were. They're still doing the same old shit. Very evident by just our review here. I mean, I'm bringing up the Donald Trump thing, and then Jeff's like, well, they're doing it 20 years ago. Dude, 20 years, you're still doing Trump? It's not even funny.
He's the president.
He wasn't back then. He's just a rich guy. So they just
Even though he's always been an asshole.
Figure.
I mean, Simpsons did fucking jokes about him way before he even ran. Hell, they predicted his
And
run.
everyone talks shit about Simpsons after season 18. You guys need to stop. It's like, well then, just because they've been around so long, you guys want them to stop? Animaniacs takes a big break, and now we applaud them. Yay! Keep doing the same old shit, Animaniacs. I love you guys.
I mean, Animaniacs hasn't been around for 20 years. Simpsons never stopped.
That's what I just said.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what people are enjoying the Animaniacs because, hey, we're bringing it back, and we're probably doing some more contemporary stuff. But it's like, hey, we haven't seen this style of comedy in 20 fucking years. Simpsons is like, I haven't even watched Simpsons in like a decade.
All right. Well, like I said, for me, shit like that really made me be like, okay, then. And I just looked directly at the show. I'm just like, okay, entertain me now. Like, now I'm going to start judging you since you want to start pointing that finger out like you're better than just a stupid-ass cartoon. And at no point, except for Pinky and the Brain, at no point did I feel like this show should have came back. It's out. This is bad. I mean, it's literally just not funny. It's loud. The fucking songs are annoying as fuck. And it's like, why couldn't we just have a show just about Pinky and the Brain? Why couldn't that have happened? But no. You know, they gotta be together. It's like, I don't know, man.
You can go back and watch Pinky, Elmira, and the Brain.
Oh, maybe I will. If it's as good as this shit, and if it's as good as Pinky and the Brain was back in the day, then cool. Mass props to Pinky and the Brain. I'm not just saying that because they were on Double Toasted's thing as an interview. I legitimately mean it. Rob Paulson especially. He is such a great fucking voice actor. Him as Pinky is amazing. He's fucking funny as shit. There's so much energy to that character. But, Jay, I'm going to let you continue on with the positivity because I've ranted so fucking much I should just shut up.
I mean, like I said before, like it's fun to watch, especially if you were a fan like of Animaniacs back in the day, because like the formula hasn't really changed much besides like some of the side characters not being back, and it's mainly the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. The songs could use a little bit of work, but I mean, like I don't hate any of them. I actually like think they're okay. And actually, Pinky and the Brain has sort of grown on me with this reboot because actually my biggest laugh came from episode 3.
Was it the dragon one?
No, not that one. It was the one afterwards.
Okay.
The senator.
Uh-huh.
But, overall, like we've only seen like what 3 episodes so far.
I thought it was 4, but it's better.
I can actually see it getting a lot better, like in the later episodes. And right now, I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, I will say it's bingeable. I like that it sticks to its format of being as short as it is, and the last bit of every single episode is a really small little joke or maybe a small little song, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But I think that there's so many shows that have come out that have somewhat flirted with somewhat of what this show is, the template at least, and have done it so much better. Like, dude, like, I know nostalgia is a thing, and I know that we love the things we grew up with. But guys, we've been lucky the last 10 to 15 years. We've had a lot of new great content, a lot of, like, animated content. Some really awesome adult shit, regular show, fucking, I even like Phineas and Ferb, like Adventure Time, like so much other shit, and it's like, to be excited about Animaniacs and fucking loud, like, it's like, what the are we all, like, just, like, faking it with each other, and, like, no one wants to say the obvious thing in the room of, like, this shit's bullshit, huh? Yeah, thanks for telling, bro. Yeah, like, what the fuck is it?
Well, the last time someone said that, I said that fucking Nightmare Before Christmas isn't that good, and everyone killed me for it. I'll fight all of you. That fucking movie sucks.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. Ryan says, keep seeing a Tiny Toons theme instead. I do? Okay. Shit, I didn't know.
Picky in the Brain theme, man. I gotta listen to that shit right now.
That shit's awesome. But yeah, for me, because of Pinky and the Brain, I do think that so far what I've seen, this show in general is a 3 out of 5. Is a very, very average, because there's things that I fucking hate, but I really love Pinky and the Brain. And there is a couple things that are not so bad about the Animaniacs, but at the same time, it's like, this, once again, like somebody said in the chat, it's just not for me. As Chaos Bulldog said, Jenny over there just saying, like, I don't think this was made for Nick. It's like, yep.
It's actually made against Nick. The next 10
don't like stuff with meta humor.
Huh?
You don't like stuff with meta humor.
Then I don't know.
In Nick's defense, I can't believe I'm about to say these words. In Nick's defense, I'm usually not that much into meta humor. But I mean, again, back in the day, Animaniacs, they had a specific way to do it where even though they were literally pointing tongue-in-cheek at the camera, there was still enough intelligence or enough layers to the joke that it was actually kind of hilarious. Where I feel like a lot of meta humor could be extremely lazy if you're just not doing it right. Like a lot of Deadpool humor is extremely lazy. So I get where it's like, it's a balancing act. Sometimes meta humor is great, sometimes meta humor is terrible.
Yeah, and some meta humor is good. Like, I know I can't name any off the top of my head right now, but I'm telling you, like, I like meta themes in general. Like, I like some of the shit in Conqueror's Bad Fur Day. That's meta humor that you're playing. I fucking love, like, meta humor and Workaholics.
Well, when I say meta humor, I mean more in the terms of, like, you don't like pop culture references or anything going on right now being used as a joke.
But that's not true, because, like, fucking Clerks is all that. Clerks 2 is all that. Workaholics is so all that. Superbad was all that. They didn't even have a fucking MySpace top 8 friends fucking thing and Superbad. I do like that. You didn't even want to watch that movie Game Over Man that came out like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and that is so. I mean, there's like tweet jokes and all this crazy shit in there. I
mean, she made the right choice, honestly.
American Pickle, movie that came out literally a few months ago, and like the whole joke there is that there's an old guy that's in modern days, so he doesn't know what tablets are and iPads and blah blah blah. And like I thought that shit was funny, and you didn't even like that, Jet. So it's like I like meta humor, I like modern day jokes.
Laughing at that.
Well, I don't laugh at Seinfeld, but I think it's hilarious. So I'm not gonna go, ha ha ha! That was a Kramer. You're all crazy racist.
I almost forget you're a racist.
Oh, jeez, Jerry. Yeah,
that's exactly how he laughs, by the way.
I do not. What would you rate this, Jet? This whole show, Animaniacs 2020, Hulu.
So far, it's a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, nice. With that said, though, guys, we're gonna get into the after hours. I know I'm gonna hear a lot from you, motherfuckers. Jesus fucking, I might just mute you all and just talk, and that might be torture.
No, I'm excited to watch the Animaniacs because it looks good. But man, the Pinky and the Brain, I don't know. The art style just looks so flat. I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, you just said striper bad. That's not even a word.
That's you. That you was like super bad.
But you still spelled my saying wrong. Like.
You literally, do you know if people have text between Alan, then and there, and you managed to pull out your bullshit? That's all, folks.
It's literally on screen. And the thing is like that you broke the first rule of being a smartass. Don't be stupid.
Don't be friends with Nick. Okay,
God,
that's all, folks.
Idiot. Anyways, either you or Ganja, one of you two musketeers, tell us about Metropolis.
Well, you go check out the Metropolis Collective, where we have a bunch of fucking content. You got Sportscast show with the good old little shoe Cedric Williams. You got the Nunu podcast with the Jenny and Jenny. They talk about Korean pop as well as other stuff, cultural stuff from that area. Of course, you got the Badass Illuminati podcast with myself, This Birdman, and the Great Rufus Wonder. Talk about politics, talk about all kinds of crazy shit. Go check that out. That's on Facebook as well as a bunch of numerous other sites. Actually, I recently found out we're on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, I think I knew that before you did.
Gotcha. It's Cedric Farrell and Matt Williams. Not Cedric Williams.
You don't know where I've been doing
trying
to
to
that
correct
man's
him.
name this whole time.
I've been trying to correct him for literally the last year. It's not
How do you
gonna
fuck
happen.
up this man's show every chance you get?
Praise be the Little Shoes and their podcast.
Hey, what did you call Jenny's podcast?
Doo-doo?
And they got that Teletubbies podcast with
Maybe I should do the promos.
Yeah, I think you should. Good night, everybody. See ya.